All right, I have my timer set for 10 minutes, so it will go off, and teachers, I will respect that time. So, Mr. Brophy, can everyone see the screen?
Yes, they can. It looks great.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so let's just get into it. So the OSSLT, what is it? It is the Ontario Secondary School Literacy Test. It is a compulsory, so that means it's mandatory for all grade 10 students in the province. It is standardized in that all grade 10 students in the province of Ontario will complete the same test. What this specifically means for you in terms of your diploma is that being successful on the literacy test is a high school graduation requirement. You have two opportunities to be successful at the test. Your first one is going to happen in about 3 weeks' time on April 28th. If you were unsuccessful on this first attempt, you will repeat again in your grade 11 year. So next year, you would try the test with next year's grade 10s. And if you are unsuccessful, then all that means is that you will enroll in the grade 12 literacy course, and this course will then replace the test and provide you with that diploma requirement. The purpose of the test is to determine whether or not students have acquired the necessary reading and writing skills that they are expected to have learned by the end of grade 9. So I've had quite a number of students come to me the past few days and say, well, there's no way I'm going to pass because my English mark isn't very good, or I'm not a strong English student. And to that I say, it's definitely not going to matter. The purpose of the test is not to see how well or how strong you are as an English class, but to see how well you are able to read new material and to write in terms of short answers and expressing ideas. So you may not be in an English class in your period 1 class right now, but I guarantee you're in a setting where your teacher has asked you to read new information, highlight key ideas from a paragraph or a textbook, share an opinion, develop an opinion, brainstorm some ideas, summarize, complete multiple choice questions. So the test is designed to see how well you're succeeding in all types of your courses at that reading and writing skill. So English may not be your strongest class, but I really want you to still be confident in yourself that you can be successful on the test. How do students pass? This is a popular question. So the test is out of 400, and in order to pass, you need a minimum of 300. So if you do some quick mental math, you'll notice that the passing rate is not 50%. It is actually 75, and that is because as a high school student, you know that a level 3 is the aim in which you strive for to be successful in your courses in terms of how well you're succeeding with the material. So the literacy test is the same. A level 3 is your goal, so that is a minimum of 300 out of 400. Later this week, we will go through the different parts of the test, and I'll let you know which ones are worth more or less than the others. You're going to write the test, as I mentioned, on April 28th. The test will take place in the morning during periods 1 and 2. But you are not going to move physically from your period 1 to your period 2 class. As the writers, you will be remaining in one place all morning to complete your test. And that is so there's no disruption. So we want you to be as successful as possible and give you an environment where you don't have to worry about moving. You're also going to be provided with a Chromebook for the test provided by the school. So you do not use your personal device that day. No one is going to be writing the literacy test on their phone, for example, or on your personal device. You're going to be given a Chromebook, and your teacher is going to show you how to successfully log in from the Chromebook window into the test. You are welcome to go home after the test. It is an asynchronous day for the rest of the school. If you are unable or you choose to stay at school, supervision will be provided for you so you can finish your period 3-4 class asynchronous for the rest of the day. What happens if you need more time? Quite simply, you're going to take more time. So all students are eligible to receive more time on the test. And that means that if the rest of the class or half of the class is ready for the second component and half the class still requires more time, they're just going to work until they are completed and then move on to the second task. And teachers, what that means for you is that you may not be able to close out certain parts of the test until everyone is finished, but that doesn't mean you'll need to be in the same physical space as the students, and Mr. Brophy will go over that with you later today. So briefly scan through, this is what your day or your morning might look like. There might be a few changes to some parts of the timing, but there's 2 sessions to the test. You're going to complete the first session between 8:30 and 9:30. You get a 15-minute break, which you will definitely want. And then you will repeat the second booklet between 9:50 roughly and 10:50. So again, if you're coming back from your break and you're still not done the first session, you're just going to keep working through until you are done. You can't move ahead. So if you finish session A in 20 minutes, you will not be able to start session B until your teacher unlocks it at the designated time. So it's not worth it to rush through. Phones are not allowed during the assessment, so it's not like you'll be able to continue about your online social presence. So you might as well take the time to review your answers before the time is up. Okay, this slide I'll go over just quickly because we are going to look at it the rest of the week, but it is a completely computer-based test. There are 33 questions in total, 31 of which are multiple choice. Okay, so again, 33 questions, 31 of which are multiple choice. And there's different types of multiple choice questions, which I'll go over tomorrow when we look at multiple choice. The remaining 2 questions are short answer. And again, you've done these in all of your classes. On the test, they're going to be called open response, but you know them as short answers. So teachers, maybe the next few weeks, even if you want to switch out the language on test or assignments from short answer to open response, it may help students see that this is the same type of question. And then you have one long response, which I believe Friday is the day we're going to go over that. And I will give you all you need to know about this series of opinion paragraphs. So 60 minutes per session. And let's look at it in a slightly different way because I myself am more of a visual person. So the yellow dots indicate a multiple choice question. So if you look at session A, yellow dots are multiple choice question, and the blue dot here indicates an open response, the short answer question. And it is a max of 100 words. So session A has more reading to do and less writing. Session B, so again, yellow indicates multiple choice questions, and the blue indicates the long response, the opinion piece. So session B has less reading to do, and I'll tell you why in a minute, and more writing to do. Why? Because you have to complete that opinion piece for 500 words. Now I have this section highlighted here. It's the second section in session B, and these multiple choice questions are grammar based. So you don't have a story or an information paragraph or an article to read. You're simply completing grammar style multiple choice. So that's going to be important for you because the test is going to feel a little long. And since you haven't really had an opportunity as a high school student so far to go through an exam style test, it's important to know that the first hour will be focused on reading, but I really need you to save some mental energy and fortitude for that second session because that's where the longer writing task comes in. So reading first, writing second. If you want to go through this with your teacher later or on the D2L, it gives you more information as to what types of things you're going to be reading. Again, these are things you're not just seeing in English class. Information paragraphs, news reports, dialogue. So there's a good variety. Your teacher will again show you how to log in, but again, it's going to be on a Chromebook provided by the school. And there is a special way to access the test, which your teacher will give to you. And I just want to quickly mention, your Chromebook will go into lock mode, meaning you won't be able to access outside material, outside websites. So you will be completely focused on the test. You can't go outside of that. Just finally, I mentioned this a couple times, and I think I'm on my 10-minute timeline. You are allowed headphones to listen to the questions, not to listen to music. If you do decide to bring headphones, and I do think it's a great idea, because there is an option where you can have text-to-speech function, and it is the second icon right here. The test can be read to you through this function if you wish. So if you like to have the articles read to you so that you can focus on finding the right answer in a multiple choice, or if you like listening to the grammar section to identify where the punctuation is in the wrong spot, the text-to-speech function is a great idea, but obviously you would need headphones. The headphones need to be able to plug into the Chromebook, so you can't have your wireless, what are they called, AirPods, Airbuds, Air something or other, because that's going to be, you can't use Bluetooth. So check out at home and see if you can fish out of a drawer some headphones that have the cable to plug into the Chromebook. As I mentioned, phones are not permitted. If you are finished the test and have a bit of extra time, your teacher may allow you to, but absolutely no phones while you are writing the test. Shouldn't be anywhere visible. You will not be on it at all. And then finally, if you want to have pens and paper for rough work, that is definitely okay. You can do your rough work online if you want, but sometimes it's nice to have a pen and paper just to jot down some brainstorming or some ideas, especially for that opinion piece. So that's really all I have. I'm sure there are some questions. Teachers, if your classes have questions or if there's any questions that a student think is perhaps more individual to them, you can definitely email me and I can go through them and answer them that way. So tomorrow we'll get into more details of the test, but that is the general overview. So if Mr. Brophy, you're still there.
It's Mrs. Morrow. Just one quick thing is that no phones and no Apple Watches, because that's basically a phone as well.
Okay, yes. Thank you, Ms. Morrow, for that. So again, no phones, no technology of that kind.
Most tech savvy of the administrators, so thank you for that, Ms. Morrow. Okay, so if there are questions, so I already see one coming up from Ms. Ian Turno's class about, can you skip ahead and then go back, Ms. Orlando, on a question?
Yes, you can. Good question. Yes, you can. You can't, so session A has 3 reading selections. You can do them in whatever order you want. So you can not only jump forward in the reading selections, but you can also jump forward in the questions. The only thing you can't jump is that you can't jump into booklet B because that won't be unlocked until later. The test is also going to ask you before you submit it, here's a list of the questions you missed. Do you want to go back and do them? So the test is intuitive that way. It's not going to let you just hand it in without an opportunity to answer each question. So I believe it asks you twice. You've missed a question. Do you want to go back and do it? Yes, you do. Think of that score of 300 out of 400. You want to accumulate as many marks as possible. And so you just want to answer everything, even if you're unsure. That's one of our strategies for multiple choice questions tomorrow. When in doubt, take a guess.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And I know everybody's time in their curriculum is valuable, so we're going to stop there. Teachers, you have access to the D2L page. And students, you also have access to that D2L page. So if you'd like to go in a little bit deeper on anything that Ms. Orlando is going to talk about over the next couple of days, that's a good place to go. And if you have questions, ask your teacher. And then teachers, please make sure you forward them to myself and Ms. Orlando. And I know Ms. Orlando can answer them. And I will say that's a good answer because I don't know anything else, but I know she knows it. Okay, have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.